If you find yourself using heroin and are wondering how long you can keep it a secret, the answer is not for long. Heroin use has some key signs and symptoms that are inescapable. Addiction is a progressive disease, and if you're using heroin, your use will continue to increase, and your life will start to be consumed by ensuring that you are able to acquire heroin. The people who love you and are close to you will surely notice the difference in your behavior. It's important to acknowledge that every person's journey with heroin addiction is different. Some are able to stop because they seek out help and do not have to reach the point where they suffer the extreme consequences. People use through different frequencies and methods. However, the behavioral changes will mostly be the same. In the beginning of your addiction, you will have a low tolerance and therefore the effects of heroin use will be stronger. The people around you will notice that something is different. Your eyes are pinpointed, you may be falling asleep a lot of time, or nodding off. Another thing that happens with heroin use is that you will feel very itchy, which is a big sign and indicator of heroin use. As time goes on, your tolerance will increase and physical dependence to the drug will set in. At this point, you will experience a constant compulsion to use heroin, and if you're unable to acquire it, it is likely that you will go into extreme withdrawals. This act of getting and using heroin does start to take a significant amount of your time, but due to your addiction, you will feel that you cannot live without it, and you will go to any lengths to get it. This is also one of the reasons why hiding a heroin addiction is difficult. They will wonder why you are frequently out of the house. They might also start to realize that you are making excuses that don't add up about where you're going, what you're doing, and what you're spending your money on. Perhaps you stop going to a lot of family functions because you're afraid that your family will notice. If you start doing this, your family is going to sense that something is wrong because you're not attending family functions like you normally would. Another reason why heroin addiction is impossible to hide is that there is always paraphernalia associated with its use. You may use heroin by snorting or smoking it, for which you may need pieces of aluminum foil and straws to ingest it. If you're using intravenously, you may start to leave syringes behind, and your family may notice the needle marks on your arms, which will only get worse. Your family members are bound to find and notice these things, and there is really no way to explain them away that isn't far-fetched once they are found. There's a lot of negative stigma and subsequent shame that comes along with being addicted to heroin. The good news is, there are treatment centers that understand the ins and outs of heroin addiction and can work with you to get you on the road to recovery. If you do not stop using heroin, your family, friends, and loved ones are going to find out eventually. If you admit to having a problem and getting help for that problem, there's no shame in that. To make a change today and get yourself on the road to recovery, reach out and give us a call. You should not be fighting on your own. Please feel free to comment, like, or subscribe to our channel.